we're going to talk about graphing linear inequalities today. All right? So, okay. So to graph a linear inequality, you need to first graph a boundary line. Now, okay. So the boundary line, it has to be solid if we have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And then it's going to be dashed if it's just less than or greater than. Then we're going to shade the region that satisfies the inequality. So first of all, for this one, okay, I'm going to write it as, y first and then everything on the other side. So negative y is less than negative 2x plus 4. Divide everything by negative 1. So y is going to be greater than, remember we changed the sign, 2x minus 4. Now, this is like y equals mx plus b. So I go to negative 4, that's my y-intercept. Slope is 2, so I go up 2 over 1. Now, because it's greater than, not greater than or equal to, when I draw this line, it's going to be a dashed line, okay? So you can either use a ruler or, sometimes I just go and I put another point on the line, so it's a straight line. And here we go. Okay, now that I have this is my boundary line. Now I need to shade the proper region. So take a look here. This is saying the solutions are all of the y's that are greater than this line. Greater than on a graph means above the graph, right? So if you look at this line here, the region here, right, is above, and then the region here is below. So if it says greater than, I'm going to shade the region above, which is going to be here. Okay? Now, as far as the solutions are concerned, any point in this shaded region will satisfy this inequality. However, are points on the line itself included? No. Okay? Okay? Yep.
How do you check which side to put it on?
So it's this. Because this is greater than, that means above. Okay? So if I'm here, like if I'm standing here, this is above, this is below, right? So I gotta go above, above, above. Okay? Another way, right? If you pick a point, so let's say we pick that point 0, 0, right? Does 0, 0 work in this equation? It does, right? Is 0 greater than 2 times 0 minus 4? It is. So that's like to double, triple, quadruple check that you've chosen the right graph. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and turn on your calculators. So from here, okay, so go ahead, turn on. Okay. Now, to go to the calculator, the quickest way to go to a graph is this button over here. I'm going to press it right now, and do you see how it's highlighted in red? Okay, this one. Now, each time you press, it toggles or alternates between a graph and a work region, right? So keep pressing, and then you see how it alternates. Now, hang on. To do this, okay, first we're going to rearrange in slope-intercept form. So this is the exact same thing here. So it's going to be y is greater than 2x minus 4. Now, raise your hand if you already have something graphed here. Okay, if you already have something graphed here, there are several things you can do. One thing I want you to do, you know what, can everybody practice doing this with me? Can you please press the dock button here? Dock. And now press B in the keypad here. B. And then it should clear everything. And now go back to the graph. Okay, so dock, B, go back to the graph. Okay, now raise your hand if you still have a graph there. Yeah.
How do you delete?
Wait, do you still have a graph here? Okay. Okay, go.
How do you delete all of your past equations on the graph?
This is one way to do it. Right? Scratch pad. It clears the scratch pad. Okay, now, so this is an f of x equal, right? But what we want to do is press the delete button once. Don't press it a billion times. Press the delete button once, and look, it gives you like all these options. This is the one I want, number 4. Now just type in your function, 2x minus 4.
Wait, how did you get all the
Enter.
Whoa.
Here, press
wow.
for f of x equals delete.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, Evan, really?
Okay, press this, press delete once. Yeah,
Oh.
isn't that cool?
It's because we have our old. It's because we have our siblings' old one.
And then do you see, hey, so do you guys see how it is kind of a dashed line, right? So now, here's what I want you to do. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, press tab. Just press tab once. Now, press the up button and you go back here. Now, go, not delete, but with the left arrow button, go here. Okay, right after the inequality. Press delete. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe we should have just started all over. Okay, press control delete, enter. Now there is nothing there, yes? Okay, now go to tab. Okay. So now we have, okay, we're going to start all over now. There's nothing here. So at the bottom here, press the Y button. That's the Y variable. Okay? Now, press control and the equal sign right underneath. And you see how you get all these ones? Now we're going to change the problem. Press this one, greater than or equal to. And then type the same thing, 2x minus 4. Enter. And then do you see, right? Now it kind of looks like a more solid line, right? That's what I wanted to show you guys. Okay? All right. Put your calculators down. Put them down on your desks face down, please. Huh? Let's do it later. We gotta move on here. Okay. Press your calculator. Put your calculator on your desk face down. Let's go do the rest of these. Okay. Okay, so here we have a linear inequality. We have an absolute value inequality. So we're just going to graph this just like we did before. The vertex here is 3 and 1, right? So I go over to 3, up 1. Now, I go up 2 over 1. Hang on, please, let me finish the problem, okay? And then up 2 over 1. Okay? Now, is this going to be a solid or a dashed line? Oh, sorry, I see what you were saying. Yeah, 1 comma 3. Okay, so this way here, 1 comma 3. So from here, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Solid line, here, here. Now, it says to shade less than or equal to. So here's another way you can tell. Less than or equal to means no matter where you are, it's got to be below you, right? So that makes it clear where to shade. So it's this region here. Okay. Do you guys see this? Yeah. So that's another way you can tell if it's above or below. So from here, either put arrows up or down. Okay? So we can do the same thing, right? We can graph the absolute value on the inequality. So let's go ahead and do this now. Press tab, go up. To delete this, so tab up, control delete, enter. Okay, now press tab. So we're going to do Y, Less than or equal to, right? So control and the equal sign. Pick the less than or equal to. Okay, now I need absolute values. This is important. Absolute values are in here. So under the delete button, oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Under the delete button, okay, it's right next to the 9. I call this the emoji like button, right? This is like where you get all the emojis. And this works just like the emojis. You know how like with your emojis, the ones you use more often kind of like go up to the front of the list? That's how this works over here. So the absolute values are literally the ones that look like bars.
We didn't put the 2 before.
Is there a 2 before? Yes.
So you did it before we entered that.
Yeah, but if you forgot, you can always hit the left arrow, 2, and then go back inside x minus 1 plus 3. Okay, enter. Look at that. Now, here's a, I know. Here, okay, so now look. Okay, this is a important skill up to like AP Calculus, right? Whenever you graph anything, before you're okay with, before you even look at what the graph looks like, always look at the equation that gets printed here. Is it like verbatim what you are trying to graph, right? Because sometimes you do a wrong keystroke or something. Okay? Now, can everybody please, with this trackpad, with the center pad, go and hover on top of the equation. When you hover on top of the equation, do you see how you get like a little grabby hand? Now, what you want to do while you're on the equation with the grabby hand, press and hold the center button for more than 1 second. I know that's more time than some of you guys are willing to invest, okay? But just press and hold and you'll see the hand closing on top of it. Yeah? Now, move it, drag it to wherever you want. This is super important because eventually this year, next year, especially in AP Calc, again, like this starts now, right? You can't be in AP Calc and learning this then because there's oh my god, so much to do. You're gonna have to move these things away in order for you to be able to like manipulate and see things. Okay, Micah, question.
My graph's not working.
Yeah.
Wait, why everything isn't working?
What do I
That
put
seems
in?
like a you thing.
When did you put it?
Oh.
Light won't enter the graph. So,
Oh, I just moved that.
Oh
Oh my god, it's so silly. Mine's such a darker blue.
Oh yeah, so
No,
that's not,
mine's
it's not that.
Oh, also yours is like newer technology. Mine is old.
Evan, can I see that?
Yes, Evan.
These 8 lightsabers.
I like yours.
Elegant weapon of the Force.
So
of the
it's this
Jedi.
color plus this?
It is.
It's an elegant weapon of the Jedi. Not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your
It's my nail Huey gave
Maybe
me.
it's for really kinky
She
Jedi.
broke her nail.
The equal sign.
But it broke in the middle of my nail bed.
Okay, now, let me have your attention again. Okay, so, to clear, okay, to clear the scratch pad, right, again, you go to dock. Now, I like mysteriously told you guys to do B, but the reason why that is if you keep scrolling down, you have here, after all the numbers finish, you have A and then B. B says to clear the scratch pad. That's why you can do dock B, very quickly clear everything. Okay, and it goes back here. So go back to the graph. Once you have that, once you do that, this should revert to f of x. Okay? Okay. So, any questions on calculator stuff? Okay.
How do I go back to that? The F of X?
Do doc B
I did.
and then press the calculator button, like the calculator icon.
I don't like how much.
Okay. Now, shh. Okay. Hey. Okay. 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 One more thing for the test. Okay. or just like to review. Let's do some domain and range stuff, okay? So why don't we go back to the last lesson here, okay? Yeah, to where we graphed like the parabola. So basically, go to page 15, okay? We graphed parabolas on page 15 and page 16, okay? This first parabola here on page 15, what's the domain? All real numbers. Now, without yelling anything out, go and look through all of the parabolas on page 15 and page 16 and find a parabola where the domain is not all real numbers. Oops, you dropped, Did you find one?
So every
Trick question. All parabolas have a domain of all real numbers. So this is like, whenever you have a parabola, okay. Whenever you have a parabola, and I ask you for domain and range, this is like no thinking involved, all real numbers. And it's the same with absolute values, okay? So let's do some range then. The range here is what? Y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So here, what is the range here? Y is, okay, what about here? Y is, okay. You gotta raise your hand, please. Okay. Okay. So greater than or equal to 4. Now, take a look at this number and this number and this number. How does it relate to the equations? It's the k, right? It's the k. So -5, -5. 4, +4. 0, 0. Okay? Now, when will it be y is less than or equal to a number? Is that what you're going to say? If it's a reflection. Okay, so Micah, how can we tell if it's a reflection from the equation?
If the A is a negative.
If the A is a negative. Okay, so that means on the test, you should expect for me to just give you an equation and you have to be able to come up with the domain and the range. Okay, so let's do one here. F of x is equal to -1/3 x minus 2 squared plus 4. Okay? What's the domain? All real numbers. So range, y, less than or greater than or equal to? Less than or equal to what number? 4.
And would the vertex be 2, 4?
What would the vertex be? 2, 4. Okay? So how about this one? How about this one? Okay, domain? All real numbers. Now this is not a parabola, this is an absolute value. What's the range? Y is greater than or equal to 12. Okay? Positive, greater than or equal to that number, that number. None of these make a difference in the range. Okay? So if you're ever walking down the street and you see a billboard and you just have an equation of a parabola or an absolute value function, you should immediately be able to figure out domain and range like that. Not to mention the vertex. Yeah.
So all the functions we looked at, there was a fourth one, but I forgot what it was. But identity,